What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Keeta today, KTA USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 9th day of June, and Keeta, yet again, bouncing off of this range, and yet again coming up to these areas of significance, back above 20 cents. What a wild, crazy, volatile range you've been in now since mid-March. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. This is interesting. It's interesting stuff. It's definitely interesting. I want to look at the short term on Coinbase just so we have some volume here. If it would load. What's taking so long here? Maybe we go to another one. Let's try it like this. Let's see if that fixes it. Nope, that doesn't fix it. Interesting. Well, we might not have any volume. Let's see. Is it just that? Oh yeah, it's everything. Everything is taking. Okay, there we go. That didn't take too long. There we go. Maybe just needed a little kick. There we go. Okay, daily time frame. You can see here that this is actually not a tremendous amount of volume. Now, relatively speaking, if we took like the last 200 days of volume, this is one of the higher days of volume for sure. But relative to all these spikes that we've seen where these kind of movements are backed, this amount of volume is not as significant. However, we do have 10 hours and 41 minutes left in the day. Let's see where the day takes us. Now, I want to just set the bar where I think it should be right off the bat. I don't believe that Keeta is about to rip through the roof. I don't think that we're about to move up to 50 cents, 60 cents, $1, $5. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe we move up a little bit higher than this. Maybe we even get a little bit above this high. Things are kind of interesting right here. They definitely are finding support. But I still suspect KTA has an inevitable date with death below 10 cents. I do believe that will happen. If it doesn't happen this month, it'll happen next month. If it doesn't happen next month, it'll happen the month after. You get the point. Really, we're just in this range, and I'm not impressed by this move. It's nice. You're up 30% today. And it's not just today, right? You're up over the last week. Like in the last 5 days, you've pumped 82%. It's pretty impressive. Let's see what the reasoning for this is. KTA. I'm sure there's some news-related reason. That's what has happened the last two pumps. The first pump that we had was Visa partnership. This one was KTA personal. Now, what do we have? Is it just things going well with the personal? Keeta network. Two hours ago. Okay, and Ask Group, a UAE-based investment group, led by His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Sultan bin Khalifa bin Saeed. I don't know how to say all this. All right, I thought bin. I don't know what bin means, but he's got a lot of bins. Have created a joint venture aiming to tokenize tens of billions of dollars in commodities. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That might be why we're seeing this pump happen. It seems like the most relative thing. 2 hours ago is whenever this happened. Let's see. Let's look at this on an hourly basis. 2 hours ago is when the pump happened. So yeah, it must be a direct result to this. And I mean that's a pretty big deal. His Highness Sheikh Ahmed. I don't know how much he's worth. Let's actually see if we can figure this out. His net worth here. Or maybe the Ask Group. Let's see. What Ask Group net worth? Would it be that, or would it be maybe a different question? Like how much are they in charge of? $1.2 billion. Firm operates over $9 billion in assets. Okay, that's probably a better question. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. That's not a small drop in the bucket. Maybe in the grand scheme of things worldwide, of course, it's a small drop in the bucket, but it's a pretty big deal. And that's not the first major partnership that they've made. So that's probably what it is. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but no offense to His Royal Highness himself, but I don't believe that this is as big of a deal as Visa partnership is. I think the Visa partnership is a lot bigger of a deal, and we all remember how that went. Keeta Personal was not as big of a deal as the Visa partnership, and we remember how that went. This, I would assume it's going to go the same way. So maybe there's a little bit more of a pump, maybe. But I just think we're in a low volume environment, and any kind of news can cause this thing to move down or move up in a very short amount of time. So that's what we're seeing here. It's just a short amount of time of a move up. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then zoom back out. There will be people, of course, who read this and make it out to be bigger than what it is. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour, you had a very nice pump up, less volume coming in here. Still moving up a little bit. The RSI looks bullish, stochastics look bullish, MACD looks bullish. 4 hour time frame, you're about as high in the RSI as you were here at these highs. Price area, you're at the same areas as well. MACD is getting strong. Histogram is actually stronger than any of these readings over here. Let's go back to the Visa day. Yeah, that histogram got pretty strong. You could get a little bit stronger, but you're definitely running hot. You're going to cool off at some point. And again, being in a low volume environment, whenever you're in cool off mode, that move down can be pretty aggressive. I mean, even if we do keep moving up, you could see a move from here, 22 cents, it goes back to 17 cents, and then you rip up to 28 cents. That could happen. I just don't think that we keep pushing higher, or that if we do keep pushing higher, I don't think that it merits much more growth. I think that overall in this range, as tradable and profitable as it would have been if you've bought these lows and sold these highs, you've had 3 opportunities where there's some pretty solid pretty solid trades to be taken, guys. Very obvious tops. I mean, like it's not like this was just here for a second and then it came down. This whole video we've been up here. Steady volume too, so I'm sure, even with some size, you could get in and out of this pretty well off. But I think we're in some sort of staging area to go lower. That's just my expectation. We're at the top of that staging area. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is the exact worst time to be buying KTA. If you bought down here, good for you. This is actually probably the best time to sell. It's not the best time to buy. Even if you pump another 30% from here, it's not the best time to buy. It's very risky. Very, very risky. You do not buy in risky times, okay? Anyways, I don't think that there's much else to say. We're at a point to reject here on the daily RSI, point to reject here on the stochastics. The blue is far separated from the orange. When the blue was far separated from the orange here, we were at a relative high. When the blue was far separated from the orange here, we were at a relative high, and we dumped. How much did we dump both of these times? From a high to a low, you saw an overall drop of like 26%. From a high to a low here, we dropped about, was that another 26%? Yeah, 26%. From a high to a low here where your blue was separated. It wasn't as separated, but still, point being, high to low, 31%. I mean, again, even if you kept pushing higher, like you did here, you dropped and then you kept pushing higher, you still probably see some volatility, and I don't suspect that this will last long. I do suspect that we will be moving lower in time. We look at the all-time history. By the way, I love Keeta. We first bought some below 3 cents. I want to say it was like 2.8 cents or 2 cents or something like that. Might have even, I forget if it was below 2 cents. I don't think it was. But I've been involved with Keeta since before the history of this chart actually shows. So I love this project. I think it's a great project. In fact, if I do things right, KTA should be one of, if not the largest holding in my portfolio for the next cycle. It should be. I'm going to take a fat position in this thing. I think it's positioned to do very well. I love this project, but I also have an open mind to the details that we are going to go lower. Okay, from a low here to a high here, we've gone to the 1886 up to the 1414, finding resistance at this support area here. We're probably going to go lower. I would assume 2272 here, 7 cent area, could be where we see our bear market low. That could be just above 7 cents. It could be just below 7 cents, somewhere in here. I wouldn't expect that we go to 4 cents or 3 cents or anything like that, but something lower, another step down. It is completely acceptable to find support in this 10 cent to 12 cent area, but at least there. Hit that like button. And personally, I don't believe that we've staged in this area for months to just go a little bit lower. If that's the case, what's going to happen for me is I won't buy here, because I'm waiting till it gets below 10 cents. That's just something that I'm waiting for. It would go down here, it would pump back up, and at that point, then I would actually start to accumulate in this range, which, by the way, is still a massive discount. So, can't really lose. Maybe I don't catch the absolute low. I have a feeling that whether you buy at 10 cents to 12 cents or even at 22 cents, I have a feeling that if this is the low area, come the end of the next bull cycle, you're going to be a genius for even buying the highs of this area. So I don't think it's a problem. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye. I wouldn't get too excited. Do not FOMO on this move. It's a bad idea. Bye-bye.